Well, 2022, we took a novice crew onto the Droitwich Ring, and we kind of set off. And what happened, Mel?
Well, we did okay to start with, but then we got horribly lost.
It was my fault. I got the locks wrong, and Jenny gave the lock keeper what for. But we made up for it with a magnificent meal cooked by
Jenny Hood.
Jenny.
Thank
What a
you.
fantastic cook she is. It actually worked out very well, I think, because the next morning we kind of got up. It was a beautiful, beautiful day.
We had a quiet glide through Gloucester with the rowers. Worcester, sorry,
with
Worcester,
swans and
yeah.
rowers.
I remember it was 9 o'clock and the clocks were chiming, weren't they, as we
had the
sailed
bells
through.
ringing. Atmospheric, it was beautiful. In fact, the whole day that was beautiful.
But that wasn't the highlight. The highlight of the day was lunch. And what was lunch? A massive picnic.
I put together a big brunch.
Yes,
yeah.
bacon
and we
and eggs.
sat in the sunshine.
Ian was my serving boy.
And the afternoon was full of just lovely wildlife and very
And it was
peaceful.
beautiful weather as well, wasn't it? It was lovely and warm, and we sat at the front and the back of the boat, and we
Yep.
were just all relaxed.
Couldn't have been better, except for the rather crummy pub we got to in the evening.
Yeah, it was crummy, but there was beer.
We had beer and we had a nice little kind of mooring point. So the first day was, well, it was absolutely fantastic. Second day, what was the weather like?
It didn't start so good,
No,
if I
a
remember.
bit grey and gloomy. By
Yeah.
now, Janet had taken complete control of the boat.
She took us through some amazingly tight tunnels.
Unbelievable.
Inch on either side, and there she is with her tiller.
Yes.
Yes, Tiller Queen.
And there weren't many other boats out, so we managed to get through all the locks kind of pretty quickly. I thought that all went well. The countryside was still beautiful.
It was beautiful, very peaceful.
Yes.
And we sort of just took ourselves gently back round the ring and got back home.
And by now the locks, we were going through them like kind of clockwork. And when we got back to Worcester, where did we go?
We went into town and we went down Hood Lane.
Hood Lane, a
and
deep,
had
dark
a nice
alley.
meal at a restaurant all
Yeah.
together to say goodbye.
So did we think the crew had lived up to expectations?
Yeah, it was good training.
Would we take them onto the mean boats, canals of
I
France?
think we might.
We might take them for.
We
Let's see
might.
what happens next year. Okay. Isn't that lovely?
Okay, so we started on the big Canal trip du Midi,
Uh-huh.
and I think we arrived in Port Cassafier.
Is that where Jack fell in?
No,
That's later.
And then, and we, having got provisions, we all got on the boat, sorted out the cars, and set off. This was about 5 o'clock. Got to our first mooring space, which was at a restaurant called La Gambette.
Is that where Jack fell in?
No.
That's where the music was.
It was where the
Oh, yeah,
music
good,
was.
good
and
band,
it's also
good
where
dancing.
you had that green drink thing, didn't you?
Yes,
We
yeah.
Well, I certainly was a bit drunk that night, and Janet and I and everyone was dancing, which was lovely. Anyway, the next morning, got up early, on the way to Béziers.
Hi boys! You're on video, by the way. I'm just capturing the madness. What is 3 boats completely jammed into the lock?
That's what happened.
What
Jack
happened?
fell in.
Jack fell in, I
the
knew he
lock.
fell in.
It was just awful. We were all absolutely traumatised.
I just want to say
Anyway.
thank you to Gordon for saving my life.
Anyway, we all got ourselves just about together, got to Béziers, parked the canal boat. Afternoon, we walked up into Béziers and
What do you think of Béziers?
Lovely, lovely.
Nigel, where are we?
Cathedral de San Notier.
Very well done. Looking absolutely beautiful here. Here on the bridges. And here is the Virgin Mary. Here she is. She's reincarnated. There she is. Look at that.
We went to that prison cafe.
Yes.
Then we went round the cathedral, up the tower, beautiful views. And then in the evening walked up to that Pika Pika restaurant, very nice.
Yes, Ian's recommendation.
Yeah, lovely. Anyway, the next morning had to set off early because we had to go through the locks, didn't we? Do you remember the 7 locks? And you were on the front.
Here's the adoring crowd watching Gordon Hood and Zena. I can't believe it.
Is that where Jack was choking?
No.
That was another one.
No,
That was your finest moment, Gordon, because there were a lot of locks, weren't there?
Yeah. And it was like he was riding the Atlantic waves at the front of the.
Ah,
So then we got
Viaducts.
yes, that was after. Yeah, we'd done the viaduct, and then we went through the Malpass tunnel.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right, we're coming up to the Tunnel of Love, and I'm very fortunate to be joined by Gordon in the Tunnel of Love. Now, Gordon, what would you... Oh, kisses? in the tunnel of love. Here we go. It's going to get dark. Don't know where Jen is. She can't see.
gosh.
Here we go.
Do I take my trousers off now?
Take them off. Well, 3,
There's
2,
the
1.
zip.
Right, get them off, boy.
Then we ended up that evening at the Auberge de Crozier.
Very
didn't we?
beautiful.
Beautiful place, wasn't it?
Did you like it, Gordon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you like the serving staff?
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, were they bad? I don't remember.
That was a lovely place though, because we were kind of moored up just more or less on our own. It was very atmospheric. And then the next morning we were heading to Narbonne, so we had to go down.
Jack choked the next morning.
No. We had to go down the Canal du Junction. Halfway down that, we stopped in Salle d'Ord or something, and we, Jack, Ian,
Oh, we had a
Janet and
fantastic
I,
time.
Gorgeous lunch,
Yeah.
gorgeous lunch.
We sent photographs to Gordon.
Yeah, because we had to wait.
Oh, yes.
for
Of
the
your big
lock-
sausage. You were very proud of your big sausage.
We had to wait for the locks to open, didn't we, to head off down to Narbonne. And we all thought the clouds were gathering, and we all thought, oh no, we'll be fine. Anyway, halfway down that Canal du Robin, the heavens open.
Look at this. There's the weir coming up. Down there's the river. And coming through here, now it continues round the loch. Amazing.
Oh my God, it was awful.
Hailstones, that big.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that big.
I thought we were
Big.
done for. I really thought we were done for. Anyway, Jack took the helm at the top with Janet.
Did you have a horrible time?
There's something again. Yes, no. It's not raining now.
He didn't fall in this time either. He's just saved the ship.
No, underneath, and then we headed on down.
What did
toward-
Ian do?
I don't know.
Whimpered.
Yeah.
He did the leap of death.
Oh,
yes.
so he did.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
And then
Oh,
Gordon
yeah.
followed him.
Saved our lives.
Saved our lives.
Oh. Anyway, after that, we were all just kind of slightly traumatised, but we did get to Narbonne. No parking space. We had to turn the canal round.
Gordon pulled
You
it out.
went over the bridge, didn't
Heroic.
you, with the rope?
Oh,
Right.
I pulled a whole. I was ever so manly.
You were manly.
Herculean task.
And then parked up, we were all quite exhausted, walked into Narbonne, had a lovely supper. Well, it was a tray of meats, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was great.
And we all had cocktails.
Perfect.
And then
Deserved
Well,
cocktails.
actually, then we had a pizza and you went, and then we all had a good night's sleep after a traumatic day.
Okay.
But great.
Perfect. Okay, the beautiful Baylesses, second half of the week, what happened?
So back up from Narbonne, we found that the thrusters were not working very
No.
well, and we also navigated our way under the lowest bridge on the whole of the canal, and Nigel, bless him, managed to have a slight altercation with the underside of the bridge.
I'm glad somebody else made a buffoon of themselves.
Yes.
Here we have the Rapids of Death.
Yes, absolutely.
Then where did we get to that evening?
Returned to Les Salles de l'Aude, where we waited for the boatman to come and help us with the thrusters.
Look at this. All of our days.
This place on the right.
So then from there, after a lovely lunch at Le Petit Doc, we then went to a beautiful, by then we'd gone back onto the main canal.
Yep.
And we went to a gorgeous little place with beautiful bridges and more lovely restaurants.
More restaurants.
More of the beautiful things, and entertained our neighbours from Australia.
Yes, Gordon
and,
invited them in.
America, Nashville. A
We
lovely
bought
family.
a 17th century book from the second-hand bookshop.
Cool.
Yes. There's a goose, wandering goose,
Oh, a vicious goose.
and lovely coffee from a little caravan.
And then we wanted to park up at a mooring, which Mel, bless her,
Yes.
took charge of a amazing reversing manoeuvre,
Yeah.
and having
Applauded.
initially struggled with Jack's instructions from the bank,
Yes.
then got help from some already moored boatmen, and she got a rousing round of applause
Hey.
from everybody on the bank as she successfully reversed the boat into a tiny little mooring.
Isn't that great? Now on from there, the next day.
And then we went off to find a gorgeous spot to try and find a coffee spot, but couldn't find one. But then we did more up in probably one of my favourite places, which was middle of nowhere at the foot of a wine tasting.
That was remarkable, wasn't it?
Beautiful.
We just got to exactly the right place.
Yes, it's just beautiful.
Last Chance Saloon.
What do you think of the wine tasting?
10 wines.
Not as good as Ian's.
Too many.
Amazing
Too many,
wines,
yes.
Yeah. Beautiful wood walk up to the top.
Great.
Amazing views.
And then finally, last day.
Oops.
How do you say it, Nige?
Oops.
What have you got there? Is it bigger than you used to? Really? Have you been missing sausages? How wide and big and girth-like do you like a sausage?
You filthy pig. Yes. Moored the boat up.
Moored the boat up. Again, Last Chance Saloon, last mooring in town.
Last night on the boat.
Gorgeous meal.
We had lots of gorgeous meals.
Yeah, in a lovely square with croaking frogs and little lizards going up and down the trees and flying ants to the side of the table.
So how nice was that?
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Morning of the last day. Here we are, Humph. And we're going to go on to La Pouche. Okay. Oh, tell us about La Pouche.
So, well, we came from our wonderful Canal Du Midi holiday back to La Pouche, which is our house.
We
And
love La Pouche.
love to have everybody here drinking non-stop.
Like
ever
kings.
since. Like kings. And we had two wonderful meals. What did we have?
I can't remember.
Meatloaf.
Oh, yes.
yes.
And gratin de
They
Finoise.
were absolutely fantastic.
Sage went on top of the meatloaf, and the rosemary went in the meatloaf. That's
Okay.
over there.
And I might have to have some help from Mel here, because in life it's a real privilege to have friends like you. It is, and not everybody has it, you know. And to have a holiday like this, it's just fantastic. But friendship takes many forms, yes. And Mel's going to tell you a little bit more about another form of friendship.
What's that? Got a friend in me. Well, indeed. Well, I've actually been friends with you all not much shorter than I've been friends with Jack. Is that true?
Yeah.
And I'm really grateful you've all welcomed me into your clan. But there's somebody's clan I'd really like to be a member of. Cheers, Jack. So on the 1st of July at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm afraid before you all arrive, we are tying our ship.
So that was delicious, and we had a wine tasting competition.
We love the wine tasting
We did.
competition.
And Gordon chose, we have 4 wines that you had to put in order of price, and Gordon,
Ranging from €2.99 to €37.
Yes.
and the one that Gordon preferred, guess what?
€2.
$2.99.
Now, Zena, what sports have we been focused on in these days?
There's been nothing but cricket, Jack. Actually, no, there's been golf as well,
Yeah,
hasn't there?
yes, yes.
The US Open, but the cricket, first test of the Ashes.
And for the record, can I just say, when
Here we have the losers from last time.
you claim, Jack, that you and Nigel beat Gordon and I at table tennis, we put that lie, that profanity, that proroguing of justice and detail to death, because
That's enough of that.
Gordon and I
Something
slaughtered
you're
you.
trying to over-egg. Yeah.
Did we get into the swimming pool? Oh, at the bottom.
Not ours,
next
no,
door.
because we arrived and it was green verging on brown.
But we had fun in the pool.
We did. We had fun
We'll
in the
have fun
pool.
in somebody else's pool.
And where have we been to?
We've been to
market.
Montague. We've been to Rocacore.
Moncook.
For the market. We're going out this evening.
Where are we going?
The Tet
Tet
Dai,
Dai.
lovely restaurant. Boys are going to listen to some music in Moncook.
Oh, it's raining. Lightning.
Girls are going to drink aperitifs on
No.
a nice terrace.
Zena, can you remember what films we saw? Da, 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 da.
Oh yeah, love story. Everybody to a man and woman cried.
Yeah,
We all
blocked.
cried to love story. And then yesterday we saw
Well, I went to bed with a little glass of whiskey.
something about kindness, wasn't it?
Yes.
Anyway, it was very, very
Talking
good.
about kindness,
And
I
the
just
cricket
like
highlights.
to say, but on behalf of your guests, how much we love staying here.
Well, you can come again.
Yes, you can. And it was lovely to have you.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
The lightning, do you think?
Hit by lightning or whatever. Look at that.
They've had very heavy bows.